I was raised around pushers, killers, thugs, and dope fiends. I'm the oldest of six boys: TJ, Tim, Russell, Derek, Matty Boy. My father, he was a dope boy and a stone cold killer. My mother was called the Cocaine Dame, better known as Diamond D. My mother ran holes, guns, dope, and anything she could to make sure her six boys ate. My badass father was a legend in the street. His name was Killer Ty, short for Tyrone, and his crew was called the Rude Boys. See, they got their name because they was known as cop killers. The Rude Boys kept the police and the mob out of Harlem, but my father, see, he got hooked up on drugs, and he started stealing from my mother. I would hear them fighting all the time, all times of night. But one day, I told my mother, now that I'm 15 years old, if anyone tries to hurt you ever again, I will personally take care of them. My mother smiled at me, looked me in my eyes, and said, JT, you are my firstborn, and you're going to be 10 times more ruthless than your father, Tyrone. I know you will always have my back, baby. Then she gave me a big hug. Well, the next day, everything went bad, and I had to keep my word with my mother. My father stole some dope from the mall on my mother's credit, and the mom started fucking with my mother. But she ain't no pussy bitch, so she fought back. My mother might not fight my father back, but everybody else was fair game to Diamond D. My father was her muscle. And once the mob knew that he was hooked on drugs, they started feeding him more drugs so they could move in on on my mother's territory. The next day when things went bad, two police officers kicked in our front door and came in our house to arrest my mother. She told them both to get the hell out of the house. You don't got no warrant. She then told me to put the boys to bed while she handled the situation. While she was telling me to get the boys to bed, I saw one officer pull out a gun and shoot my mother in her arm from point blank range. Then he stood over her while she was bleeding on the floor. You know what he said? Next shot, nigga, would be in your motherfucking head, you black bitch. If you don't tell me where the money and the drugs are located. I was enraged. I ran back to the room and grabbed my two guns, cause I had to protect my brother. I had to protect her, since my father don't come around anymore. I gave my brother TJ a gun and told him to watch our other brothers. And if anybody come in this room besides me and Mama, he better shoot to kill. I told TJ again that he better not give up his gun under no circumstances. I left out the room, made him lock the door. I crept down the hall towards the front room. I heard a familiar voice. It was my father's voice. And I heard it clear, because he said, the door gotta be around here somewhere. I slowly walked back up the hallway, and I saw my mother on the floor in pain. And my father, as well as those two puss-ass police officers, searching our house for dope. I couldn't stop the tears. Tears came, just got rushing down. Tears racing down my neck. I saw my father over there helping the damn police who shot my mother. And I just, became something else. Rage and hate filled my mind, body, and soul. So why they over there looking for the dope? They looking for the dope. I done crept up behind them. I slowly walked up on both policemen and pulled the trigger 2 times. First shot killed the first police officer, and his head exploded against the wall. The second shot hit the other officer in his neck. As he looked at me with disbelief in his eyes, like, I'm dying. Yes, you motherfucking dying. His life was coming to an abrupt end, and he knew it. And I turned to my father, and all I remember that it was blood everywhere. I just stood there, pointing my gun in my father's face, crying. All I could say to him was, why? How could you sell us out for some dope, you bitch-made ass nigga? My mother screamed out the kitchen area, JT, kill this motherfucking ass. This gave me the added strength. I needed to pull the trigger. I had something for him to do first. I told him to get his bitch ass over there and stop my mother from bleeding. My father was scared to death, and I could see it in his nasty, drug-infested eyes that he was terrified for his life. My mother taught me that it's only one thing a killer is scared of, and that's another killer with a pistol in his face. See, my father knew that he was looking in the eyes of another killer. He had to look at his wife on the floor bleeding from a gunshot wound inflicted by the policeman he helped. He had to look at how he became a junkie and sold out his boys and his wife for the mob. Now his most dangerous son has a pistol in his face, while his wife is telling him to pull the trigger. My father just started crying while he told my mother that he was sorry, and that he didn't know that the cop was going to shoot her. Then he said, son, please put down the damn gun. I was enraged. All I said was, shut the fuck up, pussy ass junkie nigga, and stop my mother from bleeding. My mother just looked on silently, because she was weak from the blood loss. Once my father finished wrapping up the bullet wound, and I knew I could handle my mother's situation, I grabbed one of the dead officer's guns, and I walked back up to my father. I looked him in the eyes, and I blew his motherfucking head off his junky ass neck. I went into the closet and found a machete. Then began to cut the dead officers into pieces so that I would appear to be crazy, Our story was the police shot my mother and father right in front of me, so I went crazy and butchered both officers. The Indian Rude Girls. Now my girls don't play the radio. I'm gonna take you into the book. I ain't gonna take you too far. I'm gonna let you know their skills. I'm gonna let you know what I expect out of all my rude girls. You're not fucking with the rest, you fucking with the best. My rude girls are beautiful, but my rude girls are the most deadliest women that ever stepped on this motherfucking planet. So let's take a look at the motherfucking rude girls. Lady Shadow. The only image my enemies will see of you is your silhouette. Your job is to interrupt my enemy's light and be my beautiful phantom that interrupts all my enemies' progress. You and I must be inseparable companions, beautiful, and you must be a vivid representation of J.T. Rowling and the Rude Girls at all times. Lady Chasing Eagles. Your job is to capture and kill all of my enemies. You must be fearless with your own rare personal qualities, and every kill you make must arouse my personal devotion. When Chasing Eagles swoop down, great disorder and death must follow. You must be unpredictable and extremely insensitive to any one of my enemies' safety. Lady Vision. Madam Pistol Whip and Lady Death Touch told me of your great skills shooting a gun, and your job is to be the spotter for Madam Pistol Whip and Lady Death Touch for now. Once the ladies respect you on the battlefield, that's when I will turn you loose. Lady Vision, I will need you to step up your game because when it's time for me to call on you, I need you to be ready to hit what I need hit. I want you to be able to bring down what I need you to bring down. And if I ask you to take a child's life, be ready, beautiful, because this is what I expect of you. Miss Echo in the Wind. You must make every victim's screams echo in the wind. Your victims must be heard in repetitions throughout the world. You must be devoted to my agenda and enjoy indulging in my favorite pleasure, and that is killing the police and the motherfucking mob. Lady Savage. When I turn you loose on my enemies, you must be unrefined, uncultured, uncivilized, barbarous, and a straight savage. You must be unruly, very disrespectful, and a fierce woman to all of my enemies, Lady Savage. Miss Scalpel, your job is to take the skin off of all your enemies' bodies as a battle trophy. You must be my sign to the world that death, damage, and injury are here to embrace all my enemies. And I ask you to please take pride in your name, beautiful, and become the definition of that name.